Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. I'm so glad that you're here. So am I. I know, Bob. We're always glad that you are. I'm more glad. How can you measure that? I don't know, just feel that I probably am. All right, well, look, you can be more glad, but we both are glad. But this week, I really want to talk a little bit about expanding your story. When enough is enough. When I break down my life into segments, a large part of it is, say, writing. I write ideas for my weekly podcast. I go to the gym a lot. I cook quite a bit or preparing salads. I garden. I look at my garden, I just stand still and just stare at my garden. So there's preparation of the ground and everything that, to do with gardening. I mind my grandson 3 days a week, and I love being so involved in his life. I have great friends and I feel very blessed with everything that I have in my life, and it gives me pause to look at how I'm doing in my life and with those around me. What I will suck up, put up with, tolerate as you get older, you find you just cannot be blowed with the nonsense. Blowed with the nonsense? Well, you just can't be bothered, Bob. Oh, okay. There does indeed come a time when hopefully you'll know what habits you should build and which choices you should make, what works for you and in your life. And as I equip myself with empowering ideas and strategies so I can make better and more informed decisions, I like to share what I find out and what works, and at the least for me, and hopefully you may know even better strategies. Oh yeah, we like a good strategy. We do, Bob, we absolutely do. And the point is, there comes a day when you know what works for a more functional and happy life. I think you're more intentional after you've been on the planet for a few decades. You just know what you're just not going to be bothered with, and you know what you really love. And I think you're more broader in your thinking if you're choosing to think that way. It's like, the happiness deal. I've learnt so much while pulling this podcast together and maybe going through my own personal learning curve as I, was heading towards 62, and obviously, we're safely there now. But I was months out from turning 60 when I started this podcast, and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, really, I didn't, and it showed. But I just wanted to have fun, and there is a gentle peace that surrounds me. And when my faith just became stronger, that my fear enabling me to just keep showing up, I know I'm not the shiniest thing or the most cleverest, most dynamic. I'm that in-between, out-the-back kind of podcast person with a genuine desire to connect with others, help others, inspire others, because sometimes we can do that without even trying. We might go in with a particular intention, but it might be just something else that helps something, and that is something that really means so much to me. So I do believe the only way to find others of similar ilk is to be findable. That is a real word. No, it's not. Yes, it is, Bob. Life had set that in motion, and I'm here for it. Hashtag expand your story. People can often think that something far off will make them happy. The new job, the moving to another place, meeting someone will change how they feel. When we aren't seeing the beauty that is within us, near us, and around us, it's much like postponing our happiness, that it is somehow outside of us, and it is not outside of ourselves. It took me ages to really work that one out consciously. We are looking more often than not for a distraction. Oh boy, isn't that the truth? Oh yeah, I can think of yeah, I know. Don't you start telling your little stories there, Bob. Yeah, but no, Bob. Our hardest times often lead to the greatest moments of our life. So you just got to keep going. Oh, I like that. I know, me too, Bob. How many of us have fallen for the notion if we could just meet someone, then life will be okay? I know that one intimately. I wish I knew then what I know now, meaning like so many of us, we've learnt much during our lifetime, become wiser, and have learned from our mistakes. Well, we hope that we have, and hopefully we'll still continue to learn from our mistakes because it means we're learning. And if in the past we had the wisdom and knowledge that we have now, we would have lived our life differently and made better, if not better, different decisions. Oh well, upwards and onwards to our next life. So seeing as we can't erase the past, and when you've made peace with that, you can very much change your life moving forward with the knowledge that you can, and that relying on your good self is the ticket.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, me too, Bob.
Me too, Bob. Oh, yeah, good. Thank you. Relying on you is the money shot. And boy, it feels so very empowering, doesn't it, when you do? You reach a place and you just live that way. I love the idea of changing my life bit by bit. Looking back, I don't do the looking back thing very much anymore, but because actually there's just really nothing to see. But boy, am I glad I get to do the rest of my life on my terms, fully awake and conscious and filled with intention and anticipation of what next. I now know that the discomfort of growing far outweighs the illusion of safety. Oh, isn't that a beauty? It is, Bob. Besides, our past is only a program that holds us in a specific frequency. It was needed to get me here. Everything you've gone through was needed to get you where you are. You know, this is stuff that we all know, but sometimes hearing it just wakes us up and reminds us. And
I have an idea.
oh, let's hear it.
Why doesn't someone invent a see-through toaster?
Like a clear toaster.
Yeah, so you can see how toasted your toast is while it's toasting.
You know what, Bob? That is actually a really good idea. I'm sure there's implications with heat and have to be the right sort of materials used. But I mean, it can't be impossible. But a great idea. Maybe someone out there could actually invent it, or maybe it is already invented. But anywho, hashtag expand your story. Say if you're stuck with someone, have a feeling of stuckness in a relationship, be it an adult son or daughter, friend, or otherwise, deep down you know exactly where you stand with someone. Hope blurs the lines a little bit, doesn't it? But you know. The thing is, once you see a pattern, you might see that they have always actually been that person. You just didn't see it clearly. Hence, the shock and disappointment that you can feel is very real. But once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? So the point is, you cannot expand your story if you're stuck in someone else's story. Oh, I like that.
Me too.
You can't possibly expand your story, Bob, if you're stuck in someone else's life. You have to be so damn careful who you let into your life. Regardless of blood, don't mess around when it comes to letting in the wrong kind of energy into your life, because you run the risk of becoming just like them. That is not a good thing if they are plain selfish and entitled. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, good. We're so lucky and fortunate. We have so much in our lives. The bed we sleep in every night, your ever loyal beating heart. I mean, how many of us actually think, well, you know, the heart just does its job and we get to do whatever it is we want to do. We never have to consciously assist the heart in every single beat. The sun that rises every morning, the freedoms we have, your breath, not bad breath. No, not bad breath, just breathing. Oh, your garden, the sky that holds clouds, water that runs freely from taps. I mean, seriously, not that I drink it, but you know what I mean. It's there if you want it. We have much we take for granted that we get mixed up in situations that we have no business being involved in. And there is so much negativity in the news these days. But do we come across, many inspiring stories and news articles? It's not really, that's not their business, isn't it? They need to have us frightened and scared. Have you read or heard anything lately that made you feel inspired or hopeful? I hope so. It is so important to share the positivity. You've got to applaud others like this, say, good on you. Bloody good on you, I say.
Yeah, good on you. That's right, yeah.
Uplifting each other and being supportive can make a difference, and that's something I want to be a part of. Keep shining that kindness. I know quite a few of our listeners here are very kind people, and it's lovely to have you here. You rock.
Apparently you can't use beef stew as a password. It's not strong enough.
Oh, I like that one, Bob. Very subject related. Not. We can't always move forward when we don't realise how burnt out we are. You won't know always because you're so deep in it. I had zero idea when I had burnt myself out so badly that until circumstances forced me to stop, and I mean stop, that over time I started feeling better, much better than I had for actual years. It was just, just a lovely, lovely feeling. I think I've just been feeling like rubbish for quite some time, and I was so used to pushing through that everything just felt normal. I mentioned this as someone recently asked me. They said, "Hey, Linda, how do you know you were burnt out? How did you know that?" And I had to think on it, and I realised actually I didn't. I didn't know. Yes, I was expanding my life, but I wasn't consciously looking back. I had been running businesses back to back that I had long lost the signals that my body was sending me, and that can even be applied in work situations where, certain work environments are just so rubbishy that you get so used to it that you're not taking notice of the signals that your body is sending you. And many of you will know that one for sure. I know I do. And one of the gifts of being an older citizen of the universe, there is no part of me that wants to go hard in any endeavour again. Throw in a hot cuppa and I'm all yours, though. I'm cheap that way.
Hey, you.
No, Bob. Look, stop it. I just love what I do. I'm enjoying my retirement. And you know what? Bloody right, I'm enjoying it. I've got to this stage of my life and I say, yes, I do. And really, what I'm doing is just full-time creativity.
Oh,
Yes, Bob.
why did Adele across the road? No. Why did Adele cross the road to sing hello from the other side?
That's actually not bad. That's not bad at all, Bob. So anyway, #expand your story. Half of life is lost in charming others. The other half is lost in going through anxieties caused by others. Leave this play. You have played enough. By Rumi. One of the best ways I find to move forward is just accept that you don't know everything and that it's okay to be lost sometimes. As long as you are willing to learn, you will go forward, and here's to learning something you enjoy. Follow that heart, marble dwellers. And that is to say, it might not be easy, and I'm not saying that you may feel like turning back nearly every day. There are times when you're dead tired. There'll be detours, hold-ups, and sometimes you wonder if this following your heart caper is all that. I think following your heart has been sold as a path that appears to be filled with clarity, perfect weather, all the green lights. Our path will be fragmented and a bit lumpy in parts. New paths have a sense of the unknown, and of course they do. You've never come this far. You've never come this way before. It comes back to trusting yourself and that lingering feeling of, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right way? It does come. And in the end, it is worth it because of that trusting in yourself. It's just such a great feeling. And I would say absolutely 100%. And then what happens is you enjoy any journey because you are well aware that you do trust yourself and that things will change. And even if you do nothing, life will change. Rather than living for the desired outcome, you enjoy it all anyway. A combination of harder than you can imagine, but better than you ever dreamed. And it is your expanding story. You owe it to yourself to go where you feel you'd like to see where it might lead. Indeed, that's how it felt when, say, I started my first cafe.
Coffee is vital. Dinosaurs didn't have coffee, and look how that turned out.
Thank you, Bob. You are a darling.
I know.
I do like the idea of expanding my story. I was busy gardening today. I was fertilising and watering, admiring the garden, and I find that so uplifting. I'd had some not so great news this morning, and I went straight out to my garden, and very soon after I felt balanced and I started feeling peaceful. The news is absolutely nothing I can do anything about. It's not my business, but I received a call and a friend was very unhappy about an ongoing unhappy situation with her work. And I was, to be honest, taken by surprise because I thought that part of her life was done and dusted. But no, she was walking straight back into a high stress situation. Anyhow, I picked up her stress immediately. I could feel it coursing through my body like it was mine. And I mean, it was immediate. She caught me by surprise, which only told me I need to build my resolve. I can't be fazed that easily. Well, I was. So I went into solution mode and I took myself to my Zen place, the bees buzzing in the flowering lemon tree. That alone was enough just to get rid of the feeling, just as a walk, a short walk, just changes everything. And if I am to expand my life, if any of us choose that, then we have to be mindful about what affects us, what triggers us. And is it ours? What can I do to feel better? My legs carried me to the garden. And I'm literally in awe of nature. Also in awe when I discover a new thing, like a food, activity, because it reminds me of how much more there is in life still to experience, to fall in love with. The opportunities are endless. What a wonderful world. And you know what? That's right. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. I baked some beetroot, black bean, miso, tahini burgers today, and the kitchen looked like a murder had taken place. Beetroot is a very messy vegetable. I wear gloves to avoid my hands being dyed. I like making good food and freeze them so that I've got nutritious food whenever I want, which is every day. Now, I love, love, love good food, and I love all the processes involved in organising good food. A reading from poetry of Diman, Dhiman, called Braving the Unknown. When you walked into this season of change, there were so many things you did not know about yourself. You did not know your strength. You did not know that what you were going through would matter so much someday. But as you continued moving ahead, you have learned to see the light through the darkness. You have braved the unknown and you have grown in strength. And even though your courage did not mean much that day, it is what has brought you where you are today. Hashtag expanding your story. You don't have to wait until life isn't hard anymore to be happy. People's opinions and advice are often rooted in their biases and programming. Consider their level of self-awareness and the life they lead before accepting their voice into your life. By Paul Scanlonuk. Paul Scanlonuk. It is true to say that when I look back on my life, I realised that any time I thought I was being left out of something good, I was actually being directed out of trouble's way and onto something better. I'm sure that all of you know that one. And boy, life has always had my back. I just wasn't always listening.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but it's true back. It's true, Bob. It actually is true. I'm of the mind, make it happen. And of course, you can only feel that way if your health is on side. It's a bit tricky if you're in pain and you don't feel well. I say this because the difference in how I feel is huge when I'm struck down with some malarkey, I should say. Expanding your story, shock yourself. You'll probably shock everyone. The mission is personal. It does take a lot to make your life more about your preferences, expanding your everything to gain inner real joy or real inner joy. But you do know you owe it to yourself to become what you possibly only dreamed of. Be brave, trust the magic of new beginnings, and things will find their way to you. That is an absolute fact. That is so true. Little steps towards your goal are important. If you only improve 1% every day, you're going to improve a ton in, say, 100 days. And remember, time is passing anyway, so you may as well move towards what you want. I feel the biggest answer in all of this is absolutely knowing what you want. That is so true.
I have a question, a burning question. It's been bugging me for days.
Oh, ask away, Bob. I hope I can help.
I never understood what G is doing in EG. If E is for example, then G is for what?
Well, Bob, the abbreviation EG stands for the Latin words exempli gratia, which translates to, for example.
Oh, a translation. That has really bugged me. That's great. Thanks.
You're so welcome, Bob. Expanding the story of your life is a journey of self-discovery, personal growth and fulfillment. Just like any tale, your life's narrative can be enriched by exploring various dimensions, developing new characters, and introducing exciting plot twists. Here's what expanding the story of your life could look like to help you lead a fuller and more rewarding life. Embrace new adventures and challenges. Now, this is going to look different to everyone. To expand your life story, seek out new experiences. Go to a new cafe. It doesn't have to be, some complex trip in the bowels of Peru, but you could do that too. Whether it's traveling to unfamiliar places, trying a new hobby, or taking up a challenging project at work, every new adventure adds depth to your story. It is a lovely feeling when you take yourself, say, to a part of your own town that you don't ever normally go to, let alone a country that you have always wanted to check out. You could cultivate meaningful relationships. The characters in your life story are not just limited to family and close friends. Build connections with a diverse range of people, online or otherwise. You could do that here with me. Embrace the opportunity to learn more from others and develop richer, more complex relationships. And I think it is to be said, go the extra mile for a friend or close friends, family that you have now. We can get a bit complacent with our favourite people. Pursue lifelong learning, if that's your thing. Lifelong learning is the key to character development. Acquiring new skills, new knowledge, exploring different perspectives can help you evolve as a person and introduce exciting plot twists, as I say, into your narrative. And I can personally attest to the satisfaction that comes from putting yourself on the line or learning new skills. It's fantastic for brain health, which is pretty damn important, I feel.
Oh, yes, I think so.
So do I, Bob. Overcome obstacles and adversity. Every great story has its share of challenges, doesn't it, and conflicts. When was the last time that you had to face adversity with resilience and determination? The way you handle tough times can shape your character and make your story more inspiring. Can be more inspiring. And boy, ain't that the truth.
You talk funny sometimes.
I do, Bob. That's quite right. Now, that's how we end up getting very selective as to who we will find or who we will have in our lives. There are only so many bullshitty things to suck up. Yeah, nah. So you can set and achieve goals. Define clear goals and aspirations for yourself. That's I do journaling every day. I write down any negative thoughts that I've had. So I just get them out of my head and I can look at them and go, oh, yeah, okay, I know what I need to do there. I write down what I'm hoping to achieve or what I'd like to see. I write down what I think I might have to do to achieve it, because achieving them just promotes that great feeling within yourself. It provides those moments of triumph. And I've just got to say, I do like the word triumph. Why? I don't know, just do. You can embrace change. Change is a constant in life, isn't it? Embrace it with an open heart and a curious mind. Whether it's a career shift or a move to a new city or a change in personal circumstances, adaptability can bring unexpected twists to your narrative. Meet people that you wouldn't otherwise. Find a skill that you didn't know that you had because you were the only one there to do it. Give back to others. A life story gains depth when it involves helping others. Volunteer, mentor, engage in acts of kindness, being kind, sharing things. It's so true. How good do you feel when you are able to assist others, give to others, when you know you can make a difference in someone else's life? And as I've said before about documenting your journey, keep a journal, create art, or share your experiences through storytelling. Documenting.
You can't talk today.
I know, Bob. Documenting your journey allows you to reflect on your growth and share your wisdom with others. There's much to be said for taking out your poetry book, your art gear, and expressing yourself, journaling, all those things again. It's so good for brain health, and that is, such a good thing to do, because you look back and you go, hey, I'm not doing that anymore. You realise that, you've just really come such a long way. Your life story is not just for your benefit. It can inspire and resonate with others. Share your experiences and your challenges. So in expanding the story of your life, you create a tapestry of experiences, characters, and lessons that make your journey more fulfilling and, dare I say, meaningful. By embracing change and pursuing growth, you can craft a narrative that is not only engaging, but also, as I say, inspiring. You can even inspire yourself. I inspire myself. I think, well, that was a good one. I'll do that. Remember, your life is a story still being written, and the power to shape its narrative lies within you. You do not know who's watching and who's listening, much like myself. Hashtag expanding your story.
In life's great book, each page we turn, our stories unfold as we discern.
New stories written with every day, expanding our lives in a wondrous way.
Oh, that was nice.
That was very nice. So thank you very much for that, Bob.
Oh, thank you.
To which respond with each sunrise, a chance to explore, to dream, to learn, to seek for more, in the vast expanse of what could be, expanding our story wild and free.
Oh, that was a bit good, wasn't it? Yeah, I know.
I know, thanks. In the end, it is us that limits our good selves, so by the same yardstick, we can expand it if we choose. And I would like to say that it is a really good thing to remember and honour your own well-deserved happiness. It's more than deserved, it's your right. Well, it looks like it's that time again. It's been so nice to have you here.
So nice.
I love it when you come to visit.
So do I.
I hope life is shining on you and you're having pleasant surprises and wins. We all need those, don't they? Don't we? Don't we? We do. So say good day to the family for me. Give the giraffe a scratch and I'll see you next time, okay?
Goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.